So as I told you, the church started getting multiplied. More of churches were coming up, and then since the churches were coming up, more of Christian monks we see, and the Christian monks are filled with the belief of what? The teaching of Christ, to love one another. So here in the book it is written that, so it's written, fired by religious fervor. Fervor means what? The belief, the strong belief of teaching of Christianity. So more monks started coming up, we see, and then they had a religious orders to follow. They organized themselves into a religious orders, and these orders demanded the monasteries to come. Now the monasteries also came up. So what we see, monasteries were what? The places where these Christian monks stayed, and by staying there they were doing their religious studies. It was not only limited to the religious studies, but they also studied, they also learned the other things like the philosophy, the art, history, and all those things. Now since it's written here, the monks also pursued the arts and learning in all kinds of subjects. So they were not only learning the religious texts, but also they were learning what? Literature, then the art, all these things, and they were focusing more on the education institutions. Okay, more of education they imparted. And here we see in the book the two very secular universities had evolved from monasteries, and these two were the Cambridge universities and the Oxford universities. Now monasteries, as I told you, it is related with in the ancient India you see the gurus. It's there in your book that discussed, that's in page 18. You will see in ashrams what gurus they used to teach. They used to teach in the open area and teaching in a vast field. So here also monasteries also they started focusing on the education institutions. So here what we see now, the church is growing and it has become very conservative and authoritative and started demanding the people to follow discipline, and so they started demanding loyalties, obedience, and total submission to the dictates. Now this was the what Christian monks were doing. Now we move to the what were the impacts of the monasteries. Now these Christian monks, or the priests or clergy we call them, they didn't marry, and then they lived in a they gave their life for the service of the humanity. And we don't only see the priest here, we see the women also following the same path, and they were called the nuns, and they stayed in a convent or nunneries. It's given in your book, it is nunneries or convent. So usually we say that convent. So they also, what they started doing, now nuns, they also started giving education to the children, and they started taking care of the poor and the sick people. And then here we see even the nuns, they did not marry. Okay, they gave the life for the service of the poor people. And then here we see that there's a big abbey. Abbey is what? It's a church, and then beside church was the place for the nuns to stay and for the priests to stay. And there around them there were gardens, orchards, and they were very much close to the nature. Here what we see here is like that. And they only besides serving the poor people, they also did their prayers. They gave time for the prayers also. Now what we see here, around the monasteries there were some barren lands, and then these barren lands also were utilized. How? They started started using it as and started cultivating things on that. So that barren land also become very productive. And we see that they are, beside monasteries, we see also the hospitals, the libraries and schools. As I told you, they started focusing on the education institutions. Now, around this, the barren land, they made use of the barren land. Now, they also started growing up those medicinal herbs. So this, growing medicinal herbs rose the interest in them to learn more about botany. Now, what is botany? Botany is learning about the plants. So this is what they were doing, and they were helping the poor people. Now, here in the impact of the monasteries, this is how the monasteries helped. Okay, and also we see that this monasteries also helped as the shelter for the travelers. And then the people, those who traveled, they came and stayed there, and then people were given food, clothing to all the needy and the poor people. This is what we see here. Now, in monasteries, as I said, the two secular so we see here two secular universities had evolved. That was, as I told you, Cambridge and Oxford. Why secular universities? Because secular universities means they were not, they didn't have relation with political as well as religious. So they were independent universities. Now, as I told you, besides religious texts, secular subjects such as history, philosophy, medicine, law and astrology were also taught in these universities. Okay, it was not only restricted to the religious texts, but the other subjects also they were. So, now what we see here, during that time, there was no printing press. So, how the books need to be, the monks did. What did the Christian monks did was they used to write with their own hand on the parchment. Now, what is this parchment? Was the thin material made out of the skin of the animal, and they used to write there the books. And mostly you will see the copies of Bible and the prayer on the parchment that they have done. And these books were a very most of the books were copies of the Bible and prayer books, and copies of Latin and Greek books on secular subjects. These books were a very useful source of knowledge of the ancient and medieval civilization of in. After the Christian monks and the impact of the monasteries, we will now move to the Crusades. What